Naughty Breeding 10-pack, Virgin Erotica, Breeding Erotica, Milf Erotica, Pregnant Erotica collection. Written by Kimmy Welsh, Tori Westwood, and Millie King. Narrated by Sierra Kline, Minka Tomlinson, and Edie Olliver.
Taking my boss by the poolside. Age gap breeding 3. Breeding erotica, exhibitionist erotica, age gap erotica. Mr. Thompson's vacation home was always a perfect retreat for his small bunch of employees. It was practically right by a beach that we mostly enjoyed by ourselves. But when the new apartment building went up, everything changed. Suddenly, the secluded pool and courtyard were towered over by an unsightly block of concrete that brought with it a flurry of holidaymakers. The beach was no longer private, and a host of new businesses shot up surrounding the place. By the time I was in my second year there, it had changed beyond recognition. That year, I was out there with my boss, Mr. Thompson, for breaking the sales record for March. Mr. Thompson was over twice my age, and whenever we ventured outside the apartment, I could feel the eyes on me as people wondered why a 19-year-old woman was with a guy in his 40s. At least it doesn't block out the sun, I said, walking out onto the patio in my pink bikini.
It does in the morning, he said. You're just never awake.
I'm on vacation, I shrugged.
And what about when you're at home?
I rightly said nothing and lay beside him on one of the loungers, easing myself down with a sigh as I moved from one bed inside to another outside. Are you wearing sunscreen? I asked, pushing down my glasses and looking over at him accusingly.
Geez,
he mocked.
You're worse than my wife.
Hey, I just don't want to hear you whining about how you got burned for the next week. He sighed and reached over for my bottle that I put on a glass table beside us. That's tanning oil, I said. He let out another huff and walked back inside to grab the sunscreen. The birds chirped and fluttered busily around the poolside, grabbing the insects and going about their day. But above me loomed that enormous, unsightly erection. I could make out several guests dotted around on the balconies, staring out to the sea. It used to be so peaceful here.
Do you mind putting it on?
Mr. Thompson asked, walking out and shaking the bottle in my direction. I couldn't exactly remind him to put it on and then balk at the idea of helping him. Sit on the end of the lounger, I said. He squirted some of it into his hands and then passed the bottle to me. I did the same and then rubbed my smooth palms together, looking forward at his broad, muscled back. When his face wasn't there to remind me who I was looking at, Mr. Thompson was quite the specimen. He was heavily into wakeboarding and hiking, which had helped to give him this kind of athletic muscle frame that I'd seen other girls drool over.
I'm thinking of selling,
he said. I massaged the lotion over his shoulders. Doesn't surprise me. I heard a pleasured groan come from him, but he stopped before it truly flourished, pretending to clear his throat in its wake.
I'll get another, he said.
I looked up again at the overbearing block. A more secluded one. Suddenly, there came a shrill wolf whistle from above, and the pair of us looked to its source, noticing a couple of raucous frat boys on a balcony midway up the building.
Nice tits,
one of them shouted. Mr. Thompson stood up aggressively.
Fuck you,
he shouted. And it was kind of nice to have him defend me like that. I looked down at my breasts and found their remark oddly complimentary. I'd always been proud of them, bound now on my chest in a tight pink bikini top. The guys above us laughed and disappeared, and Mr. Thompson paced back and forth angrily. Come on, I said, patting the lounger. Let me finish you off, and then you can do me. Something about seeing him all worked up on my behalf made my heart swell for him. As he turned back towards me, I found my gaze drifting to his shorts, noticing the thick packet inside that shifted as he moved. He spun around and sat on the end of the lounger, squirting another dollop of cream into his hand and slapping it across his muscled chest and flat stomach. I moved my hands tentatively back to his shoulders and pinched them as I rubbed my thumb against his back. Relax, I said slowly. They're
Sample complete. Ready to continue?